We have been to a lot of places at the PDRA 2015 shop tours here this year, and we made our way to Reher Morrison Racing Engines here in Arlington, Texas. All you got to do is take one look at this mounting wall of Wallies and numerous kind of trophies and world championships and national events and the whole thing to know that this has been a no-holds-barred deal here for a number of years, going back actually to the very late 60s when the late, great Buddy Morrison was still alive, and it was Reher Morrison Racing Engines. And a lot has happened since then, not only in the 70s but the 80s and going on up to right now. There was a lot of folks working here. There's a lot of big horsepower been made here. And matter of fact, just 1 week ago in Gainesville, Florida, a motor from this building won the first quarter-mile event of the year, the Gator Nationals in Florida. So everybody's kind of walking on in tall cotton around here right now. Congratulations once again also to our friend Bob Bram, by the way, for his big win down there. But made our way out to the shop here at Reher Morrison Racing Engines. And David Reher, good to see you, my friend. And, hey, thanks for having us in today.
Good to see you, Brian.
Always good to be here and always good to see you. And just was talking a moment ago about the big win for Bob Ram over the weekend. And talked to him yesterday. He said he still hadn't touched ground yet. He's real happy.
Oh, I was ecstatic that he won that race, and they did a tremendous job. I mean, how many pro mods go down and make 7 runs? All 3 qualifying passes were qualifying passes, and all 4 rounds, we went right down the track. Yeah, there was a couple of cars that went quicker, but when Bob ran, he outran everybody he ran. Had good lights, and he went down the track.
You know what's wild is a lot of people didn't know, but heck, he won best of pretty car as well with that brand new machine.
Yeah. I'm glad he did that. I was looking at it online, and I noticed he painted it just the same as the rest of them.
Same as the Camaros.
Yeah.
You know, ironically, we were on a tour down there, Jimmy, as you recall, at Jerry Bickle's shop, and one of the older Camaros was there for sale. They had a client coming in from somewhere, California, and that's when I said, well, gosh, that's a Bob Ram car. He goes, yeah, the brand new one's in the body shop. And when we went over there and found out it was a C7, why, I knew right away. I'm like, I'm going to ask anyway. Is it going to be silver? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's been his trademark.
Yeah.
From even before we got hooked up with him and started doing engines about, 6 or 7 years ago for him now. And he was silver and black then.
Yeah. What a gentleman. Hey, take me for a little tour through this thing. I know you've had this shop since, what, the early 70s or something like that? You and your partner, your late great partner, Buddy Morrison?
Buddy and I started this and got our business license in '72, and then Lee joined us a little later. At the time, he had a job working as an engineer, and then he came to work with us. We convinced him he needed to race, and so that kind of started that story. And so I've been here continuously with the help of a lot of good employees for 43 years now. It kind of sounds funny to say that. I'm okay.
Lee really not only, besides being a great driver, he was really a great cylinder head man too, was he not?
He was. Yeah, he would work. He tirelessly on port development. Yeah.
He was one of the guys who really worked basically around the clock, and you could never. I mean, when you get guys that speak highly of him, that's kind of what they really speak of. Everybody used to think it was all about cubic inches, but the real thing's about air and fuel. It's got to start with them heads.
Yeah, that'll never change with any engine. I mean, we're in the electronic age right now, and tune-ups can be a little more refined. But basically, the manual way was, you did a lot of adjustments that you came up. It's pretty hard to make the electronic better, but it's there now. Yeah.
Oh, I never thought that many years ago. The days you used to go get a tune-up kit, points, plug, condenser, and wires.
Yeah. But like me and you said a little while ago, it's still fuel and air, and that won't change no matter what the power adder is or what the engine is or how it's managed. It's going to be whoever manages fuel and air the best.
You betcha. Jimmy, let's take a walk around here. You want to follow us? Do you want to just hang tough? Let's just check things out a little bit. Give me an idea of some of the things that are kind of going on here. What we got cooking right here? This looks like a pretty good size cylinder head.
Yeah, that's a head that we use on That's 4840 bore spacing head. It's our most popular head. It's a 12-degree head for our sportsman engines like 583 on up. Makes a lot of power. A single 4-barrel 583 will make about 1200 to 1220. 632 single 4-barrel motors will make around 1275, 1280. And we also use that head on the Sportsman nitrous motors. It's a real popular head. It's a head that we developed, probably 13, 14 years ago.
Wow, that's pretty bizarre. So without spray, that thing can make 1,200 horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And without a radical valve train.
Yeah. Very cool. Sneak around the corner over here. There's a guy who I think was over here earlier. He's not there. Is he one of those camera shy guys? He might be. That's okay. Give us some ideas what area we're looking at here. Oh, we got a brand spanking new block here. This looks like it might be one of the big dogs, is it?
That's one of the big dogs. So, it is? Yep.
How many inches, if you don't mind me telling?
I spoke incorrectly. This actually is one of the new 900-inch NHRA motors.
I got you.
Okay. The 948/6 engine has a taller deck, and there are a few other differences.
So this will be the type of block that will receive a sleeve then right here.
Well, all these are sleeved.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and we diamond hone them and then finish them, and we install all the sleeves where I showed you. Yeah. And
let me ask you a question. When you mentioned that about diamond honing it prior to putting the sleeve in, what's the real advantage to that?
Well, we want the cylinder to have, the sleeve to have as much contact with the block for heat transfer as it possibly can. Okay. We don't want anything holding it off the aluminum.
So the smoother they both are, the better they can join with one another, and as a result, a better heat factor there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, it's all the details, and that's just one of the things. Nothing by itself makes or breaks anything.
Yeah, I got you. Just to let you know, Jimmy, we were kind of looking around for Bruce Allen, who's running around here somewhere, who actually has, I don't know if David mentioned it earlier or not, but is actually, if I can, don't mind you saying, partner in the company here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Bruce he's tremendous. He came here at a real hard time, and Bruce is a great friend, and, couldn't do it without his help.
Bruce, hey, nice to see you again, man. And I hate not seeing you behind the wheel anymore, but I know you're doing what you love here with working here at this racing shop.
Yeah, I still get all the racing I want, so I could go more, but I enjoy staying here and working at the shop, and I have a little more time at home and doing the other things in life that I enjoy. Normal
things, as I call them.
Well, to some people, yeah. Not to racers, but to some people.
What is your favorite pastime these days, if you don't mind me asking? Do you go fishing, or?
Well, not much. I love to travel. My wife and I go on a lot of trips. We go we go to a lot of places that we went when we raced, believe it or not. And you know as well as I do, you go to the races and you see the road from the highway to the racetrack.
Yeah.
And you're there, and whether it be, it doesn't make any difference, but the West Coast or East Coast or North, there's a lot of nice areas. And when you race and you see the places you'd like to go back to, that's what we do now. We've got a coach, and we go and we just travel and enjoy that. I've got some cars that I've restored and play with some old cars, and I enjoy doing that.
So you just, do you hook one up with an enclosed trailer behind it and then do that kind of a thing, or no?
I have one this year that I will. I plan on going to the Woodward Cruise in Detroit, and back to the Bricks in Flint. That's in conjunction with the Woodward Cruise, and that's about 40 miles from there. That's where I actually grew up.
I was going to say, you grew up in Michigander, right?
Yeah, I sure did. And so I've got a 62 Resto Mod that I'm going to go back there and enjoy myself in August. And the other cars are kind of trailer queens. I take them to a few local shows, but for the most part, I built this car to go. Actually, one of my dream things to do would actually be.
Don't say the mile.
No, Route 66. I would really like to just get in Chicago and go to LA on Route 66. And I may do that in sections, probably won't do it all in one sitting, but yeah, that's kind of things that you kick back in your mind and you think would be fun to do.
My good friend Brian Loans, who's also an announcer and I've known for a lot of years, just purchased a interest in that mile or 2 mile thing that's in Ohio, and boy, that thing has really taken off worldwide.
Yeah, it has. There's one here that they run too, the Texas Mile, and those that's not me, but those guys, they're you know, all, no matter what people do with cars, no matter how crazy it is, they're still car enthusiasts, you know, and that's good for us. It's good for our business, but I've always been a car guy. From the time I grew up, my dad, my brother, it's just I'm just a car guy. I can't get over it.
It's the same way with me, and I don't know how old you are, but I'm 57, and I've said this a number of years when, I don't know, over the last couple generations, if you will, we lost the motorheads that were like us.
It seems like it. You know, the people, when you say 57, I'm going to be 65 this year, but it just seems like people don't enjoy the same things. You know, they're more computer, laptop gamers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I still go back to my roots, and I just enjoy getting hands dirty and working on cars.
I just told him a while ago, points, plugs, condensers, rotor, and a cap. That's what Dad used to always say. You know, we were 9 of us kids. He'd say, don't forget to tell him the military discount.
Hey, when we used to go, when we first started racing in the 60s, you drove your car to the track, and the first thing you did was take the cap off, put a set of points and condenser in there, and screw a set of spark plugs in. That was your race car. Yeah. Well, you might open the headers up and bolt some slicks on, but other than that, that was racing. That was roots.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man, awful good to see you. I honestly happened to be on the starting line. It was here, wasn't it? 2006? 2005. And that ugly night, and just glad you're here. It even saw my friend Larry Dixon on TV, been on CNN, been on everything in the world, and tell you, the cars are a lot safer today.
They sure are, and a result of a lot of bad things that happened to people before me, but you know, it just kind of shows you that there's still something, the good Lord has something left for you to do.
Absolutely.
So I'm blessed.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bruce Allen, the guy who has, been a part of this operation a long time, part of the racing team when it was a racing team, but continues now to actually be a part of ownership in this company, and one of the great assets to the sport of drag racing overall. Tell me about Brad. That's Brad right there. Am I right about that? Is that his name?
Morgan, he works tirelessly on all the Pro Mod stuff. He heads it up.
Well, he heads up the Pro Mod operation pretty much.
He does, yes. I mean, we all work on it, but I'm going to give him credit for kind of heading things up.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, I know that. Yeah, I'd love to. In fact, I've been asked by Bob Ram to say a special thank you to you over their great run and their great win last weekend, man. Congratulations again.
Happy for him.
He's a great family and a great guy with a great crew of people.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing went down the track when I don't know that any other car made a run 7 times, but that was one of very, very few.
Yeah, that's what won it for them, consistency, no doubt. They did a really good job.
It wasn't the fastest car on the property, without a doubt. And Bob drove well and did what he needed to get the job done.
Yes, he did.
Well, he sends his special thanks to you, and I want to shake your hand again and say thank you. And I know your reputation in the sport, and I know your reputation in this building and your part in this building and the way it's been for a number of years. And we appreciate folks like you being a part of it and what you do, not only for the sport, but with us at the PDRA as well. So thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool guy. A guy who's been a part of this company for a lot of years as well. A lot of cool trophies, a lot of cool Wallies, which they didn't call them Wallies in those days, but one of the coolest ones is when you guys went over 200 mile an hour.
Yeah, that was a neat club that Holly set up, and it was real prestigious to get in. That was in the mid-'90s, and everybody was striving to make that happen, and it felt good to be part of that group.
Would you ever think that the 500 cubic inch cars would be running in the 40s at 215?
Well, I can't say that I don't think that, but if you look back historically, you know, there's been about 200 or 300 a year for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Figure the math out, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's kind of the way it should be. It's kind of flattened out some now. Everything plateaus, and it seems to me like it's kind of on a plateau as a bystander since we're not actively in it, but we've been kind of seeing the same ETs now, I think you'll concur, for about the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you what, my friend, you can't shake my hand, but I'm going to throw my arm around and say thank you very much, and great day, great tour, great motors, and, man, we look forward to hanging out with you, your motors, and seeing these things in the winner's circle of the PDRA.
Well, I hope we can get one there.
You're watching PDRA TV from Ennis, Texas, and the Texas Nationals.